welcome back. Bonjour tout le monde.
That was freaking sick.
I'm actually here right now.
Time for the stadium fact of the day. Time for best of the ballpark.
This place is insane. It's a final here.
I'm checking off a bucket list, one stadium at a time.
Hey guys, welcome back to Garrett's Stadium Travel. Today is stadium vlog number 41. Right now I'm in beautiful Washington, D.C. There isn't really a view outside of my hotel room window right now, unlike the last stadium vlog, but here in the city today to watch the Washington Nationals take on the Colorado Rockies at Nationals Park. Now the Nats have been on quite a bad stretch, an 11-game losing streak, but if there's any team that's going to help the Nats break that streak, it is going to be the Rockies. They are having quite an abysmal season here. A couple teams in the last couple years have not been doing great, but yeah, gonna go explore some of the city. There's a bunch of stuff to see at the National Mall, so go take you guys to see a bunch of that and then head off to the game. It's a 1:10 first pitch, I believe. There was some storms last night, so we'll see how the playing conditions are affected with that. But it's a beautiful day today. Super excited to go check out the game and, more importantly, take you guys along with me. So without further ado, let's go. Hey guys, I'm up here in the 300 level of Nationals Park and it's time for the stadium fact of the day. The stadium fact of the day today is all about the art gallery. As you walk around here at Nationals Park, you might notice it doesn't look like a typical ballpark, and that really is no accident. The design for Nationals Park was actually inspired by the east wing of the National Gallery of Art, located just a few miles away on the National Mall, right where everything is in DC. The gallery was designed by legendary architect I.M. Pei, who is known for his sharp angles, clean lines, and modern look, especially on that building. And you can see the same style reflected here, as the ballpark's stone and glass facade is a subtle nod to DC's rich art and architectural scene, blending baseball with a bit of culture, and that's great. Gonna explore a bit more and then grab some much needed food. It is a scorcher out here today in DC. Probably gonna have to find some sunscreen and maybe a couple other things in the team store. So gonna go explore, do that, and then hopefully enjoy a great game. Let's go.
pitcher, number 15, Hunter Goodwin. Batting fourth, the third baseman, number 24, Ryan McMahon. Leading off, the shortstop, number 5, C.J. Abrams. Batting second, the left fielder, number 29, James Wood. Batting
Thank you everyone for coming today, celebrating 160 years of freedom for African Americans. Thank you to the Coast Guard for their service. It is time for National Baseball. Play ball!
Hey guys, I'm out here in this outfield terrace here at Nationals Park, and it's time for Best of the Ballpark. This is a segment where I try unique or famous foods. It's the fourth inning. I've been running around. I haven't been able to watch any of the games so far, but right now I have the cheesy birria tacos from Little Minor Tacos. Now, these are apparently a DMV favorite. I don't know exactly what that stands for. I think Delaware, Washington, Virginia. But yeah, there's steak in here, birria steak, I think some green salsa, and obviously it's cheesy. We got the consommate right here. I'm gonna see. Whoa. They dip it, however they make birria. I don't exactly know. I don't want to act like an expert, but we're gonna give it a try and a rating. Give it a quick dip there. Cheers. Oh wow. I mean, they make it right in front of your eyes. There's only one location up in the 200 level, but unbelievable. 9.5 out of 10. It's, you know, it's hard to compare it to like non-ballpark food, but by ballpark ratings, 9.5. It's the closest to perfect that you're gonna get. I've had some really good ballpark food this year, and hopefully we can keep it going. For now, I'm gonna find my seat for the first time almost halfway through this game and sit down and hopefully enjoy a great game. I believe it's 0-0 still right now. So yeah, let's go. So it turns out rally caps work. Wow. The Nationals walk it off in 11 innings. James Wood with the homer. I've never seen that. I've been watching baseball for a long time, but in person at a stadium, I've never seen a walk-off homer, especially in extra innings. What a day here. And good timing too, because there is a huge thunderstorm that is coming through the DMV area here right now. So I'm gonna leave here, head back to the hotel, and then tell you guys what I saw. So yeah, peace out for now. Hey guys, just got back to the hotel. It is storming outside, to say the least. That black cloud came up pretty quick. So I'm going to tell you guys what I saw from Nationals Park. Let's get straight into this. First up is atmosphere. I thought the atmosphere was pretty average. It was about, I'd want to say 50% capacity. It was a nice day, but it's a midweek afternoon game. It's not going to be a sellout, never is. But it was a chill crowd. There wasn't a ton of noise for the kind of game that it was. Obviously, 2 bottom feeders. Although the Nationals, I believe, are creeping up into that wild card race. I'll have to check the standings again, but it wasn't too loud until maybe extra innings when the game was on the line. And while it's good that the crowd got into it, you'd like to see them stay in it throughout the entirety of the game. What I think that the Nationals did do well was a lot of really unique activations. The presidential race I thought was hilarious. They have their other mascot, the Eagle. I forget his name right now, but they have him going throughout the crowd. They have some trivia, which is pretty standard, but they do have some unique things, which you always love to see. There is some room for improvement, though, I think, from the Nationals. They could do some extra stuff with the atmosphere. I don't really have any ideas for now, but I do know that there is room for improvement. Next up is venue. I thought the venue was okay. It's really tough to grade Nationals Park because you could just say, well, there's too much gray on the outside, but it's kind of supposed to be that way. Obviously, the stadium fact of the day kind of goes over that. You'd like to see more color, obviously. There are some flaws, I think, in the stadium design a little bit. There's, the sections are weird. It's hard to find the ramps. There's some overhangs, which is good for when it's sunny, but obviously that causes some obstructions to the big screen, I believe. So obviously that's not something you can really change, but those are kind of the flaws that I saw. There are some really cool things. The outfield area with the cherry blossoms, obviously not in bloom right now. We're way past May, but there are some really cool areas of this ballpark that you should definitely check out, that I got to check out. And the 2019 World Series, I noticed this a lot. And obviously I've been to other stadiums where the team has only won one World Series, but the Nationals let you know that they won the World Series in 2019, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But I just looked around, I'm like, dang, they got a lot of signs that say they won the World Series in 2019. So that was just something that I noticed. But again, there's definitely some room for improvement. I'm not sure if that's through renovation. Some of the things are kind of unchangeable, I would say. So, but I think it was solid. It wasn't, it's not a top tier MLB ballpark, but it gets the job done at the end of the day, and that's all you can ask for. Next up is access. Access was pretty good. I didn't want to put it up in the upper echelon of access because I don't think it's perfect, obviously. There's the green line of the DC Metro that gets you kind of back into downtown in the National Mall area, connects you up with the red line, kind of gets you where you need to go. But obviously that transfer and not having multiple lines within walking distance is kind of a bummer. DC also, from what I've heard, I haven't driven in the city, so I can't say from personal experience, but I've heard that it is a terrible city to drive in just because there's states on all sides and bridges, and it's just not fun to drive in and out of. So that's kind of where I'm taking that rating from. So unfortunately not personal experience, but from what I heard there. And then it is walkable. Like, you can walk certain places, but it's like almost an hour walk back to the National Mall area, so I wouldn't say it's walkable to downtown. It isn't technically a downtown stadium. It's a little bit south, if we're getting technical here, but, it's in a good location. You can get in and out fairly easily. So it's a pretty good rating, but it's not perfect. And finally, we have pricing. you can get really cheap tickets right now for the Nationals. They got deals on. They've partnered with some influencers. Shout out, I really hope I don't say his name wrong, Cam Guzzo. I'll put his down in the comments. You can use his discount code if you want, because I don't have one. I got enough subscribers for that right now. But yeah, you can get cheap tickets and find good deals. I will say that the food and the merchandise was still expensive, so it wasn't a cheap day for me. Obviously, I got some souvenirs that I will show in a separate video. I'll link to that. But yeah, there are some deals. There are $5 Tuesdays where there's really steep discounts on food and drink, I believe. And then they do have some deals in the team store as well on some of their old City Connect stuff. So that's pretty cool for at least this season if you're watching it during 2025. But yeah, I think just in general, like a general point on Washington is just like some other cities, like I've mentioned this about Toronto, is it's an expensive city. DC in the summer, because everybody is coming here. You walk around and you just hear like accents and hear people talking in just a variety of different languages. And it makes sense because obviously this is the capital of the US. So yeah, it's an expensive city, but going to a Nationals game isn't that expensive. So that's all I got from Nationals Park. The final ranking for this ballpark is a 6.5 for atmosphere, a 6 for venue, a 7 for access, and a 7 for pricing, bringing it to a total of 26.5 out of 40. Now, 26 is a pretty solid rating. While I wouldn't say Nationals Park is up there in the upper echelon of like must-see stadiums, but I think Washington, D.C., especially if you're from the U.S., and even if you're from other countries, this is a city that you really should visit. And if you do visit, you should make a trip out to Nationals Park if it's in the summer. I think this is a worth it place, especially if the Nationals are playing well, which before today they weren't, but they did get the win today, so that was good. And yeah, that's all I got. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give it a like, and if you like this kind of content, sports content, stadium content, make sure to subscribe. It lets me know that I do a good job with these videos, and gives me the confidence and inspiration to create more. So yeah, that's all I got. Again, if you do like the merch hauls, I know I've gotten some comments on that. I will have a separate YouTube Shorts video for that one. I'll link to it somewhere. But yeah, as always, I'm checking off a bucket list one stadium at a time, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.